Hey everyone, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we got Rob.
And Mel.
And we're going to answer some of your questions, discuss some things, kind of just open forum, do whatever. The same thing we've been doing monthly for like, I don't know, 6 months plus, I'm not sure. But it's that time. And we're of course doing the January 2021 update Q&A on February 1st, 2021. Because that's how we roll.
Yeah, why
all
not?
right? Fashionably late. Fashionably late. And welcome. I see a lot of you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us live, talking about it snowing, going to have to snow after the stream, and you know, it's starting to fall, that kind of stuff, and you're getting snow in your area. Yeah, we were too. We have snow on the ground, and it's very cold where we're from, in Southern Ontario, Canada. But for today's Q&A, we figured like we didn't want to sit in the cold, so we have flown down to our beach resort, our private island here, and we're going to do our Q&A live. It's on satellite internet. Hopefully it doesn't drop out. The internet's kind of spotty here. But yeah, so we're just sitting in our beach house. We're by a window here. You know, you can see it out back there. A little cloudy today, though, a little cloudy. But we're just going to be hanging out by the water in the warmth. So we're sorry, everyone who's got snow and may have to shovel today and stuff. We don't have to do that, unfortunately. But the glasses, though, don't seem to be working well. We have a projection screen up here in our resort ahead of us. But since the sun out back, it's kind of bright back there, it's hard to read. So we're gonna take these glasses off so we can actually read the projector screen in front of us. But yeah, hey, welcome everybody. It's all 100% accurate, of course. Yeah. We didn't want to go up to the cabin this time. We felt that was more of a Christmas getaway.
Yeah, we were just there.
Yeah, we go there for the holidays. And yeah, we were just there. We're kind of bored. So we'll go back there maybe next year or something. But, let's just hang out here. Hello, everyone. Hello. You know you have to pay $2K to quarantine in the Fed hotel for 3 days stay when you get back, right? I think we're in the opposite of that. I don't know if anyone heard, but there was like a politician here in Canada, like a federal politician, who like recorded fake videos, like trying to look like he was at home or at some hotel doing work in Canada. At the same time, they're saying lockdowns, travel restrictions, and all this. Some federal governments and provincial government officials are at the same time telling everyone, tweeting and stuff, to stay home over the holidays, don't visit people. Meanwhile, they're at like vacation resorts, but they've like pre-recorded videos and messages telling people happy holidays to look like they were at home quarantining and stuff. Big scandal. It was it's pretty
crazy.
bad. So it just shows politicians are mainly scumbags, especially the rich ones. But where's Friday and the dog? Yes, Daniel, yes. Yeah, we're trying to survive on this island, trying to build a fire. See if we keep an eye out if you guys see a boat passing in the background.
Yeah.
We have to get a wood pile built and some fire in time before the boat passes by or we fail. But yes, 14 inches in Chicago. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
storm that I didn't know was coming?
Yeah, we're gonna probably get this storm when we're back home.
Oh yeah,
in Canada. I mean, not where we are right now.
Which will probably be tomorrow.
Yep. Not as many things, but a pool boy. I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. I don't have the pool boy body. All right.
Oh, so Copper said this whole thing just started today. When you come back to Canada, you have to get tested and pay $2K to stay in a hotel while you wait for the results before they let you go home.
Yeah,
but
I didn't read all the travel restrictions, but I know there's new ones. Yeah, they're like clamping down. But it's just their answer to like what the politicians were doing. People are getting pissed, so that's what they come up with.
Yeah.
Low. All right. Oh yeah, we brought our chairs.
Always bring
of course,
our chairs with us. Always.
We brought them down on the private plane. Like, it's super easy. We just, they just pack it up. The pilots, they just get the guys to load up the chairs on the plane.
Yeah, we have someone to do it for us.
Our streaming equipment, the lights, all that stuff. It's easy. Just easy. Yep, no problem.
We just show up.
Yeah, so yesterday you guys saw us streaming Star Wars Outer Rim at our normal house. But overnight, you can fly down and, set everything up. It's super quick. Yeah, it wouldn't take days at all.
No.
So to get us started, we'll do a little update, kind of keep it condensed more than we usually do. Just a special shout out. Thank you to our new Patreons that have joined the channel since the last monthly Q&A. We got Daniel, we got the nerdy guy, David, Graham, Cynthia, Frederick, Bob, Marcio, if I say that right, Drew, Brian, Dan, David, and Peter. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for everything you do. On that note, we reached a goal to get 2 more gaming chairs, you know, for Kyle and Justin, Nick or Ashley, whoever else plays on the channel eventually when COVID lockdown lifts. So once we reach that goal, we look for some chairs on Amazon. There's only a few of the brand that we wanted in stock. We ordered one, got it. I put it together. I'm now sitting on it. And I liked how this one was, so we ordered a second one. It's on the way. So we've ordered those. We hit the goal. But as goals on Patreon work, you can go above them. And then, you know, people change their Patreon amount and some people leave. And that's okay. Totally fine. But we dropped down below the goal. So don't worry, we got the chairs, we're getting the chairs, but that just puts us a little further away from the next goal, which will unlock the Rob's Rants video series that we'll eventually do. So just letting you guys know on the update on the goals, but no big deal. Even if we reach a goal and we kind of drop down below, that's no big deal. We'll still hit it, we hit it, we did it, it's all good. And that is that. Highlights of upcoming content. Star Wars Outer Rim, I'm playing that solo tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. So come and join on that. I'm playing the regular solo that's in the box. I know, BitJam, I believe. Was it? Yeah, BitJam. You sent me a link to a web app, which I looked through. The app's kind of cool. I did play today with the base AI from Star Wars Outer Rim. Yes, I totally see the issues. People are already commenting on the last video we did yesterday, saying, Rob, don't play that version, or if you're going to play Han Solo, it's your only chance. It's very hard. Not the most interesting AI, that kind of thing. So yeah, but I'm going to play the regular one in the box. Give you my thoughts on it, play through it. I played it today, it's okay, but I see why, you know, people went and developed their own version of a solo mode for Outer Rim, which if we finish quick enough, maybe I'll try that in the same stream or in a different stream or whatever. But we'll at least talk about it. I'll show you guys that tomorrow.
What time is that tomorrow? Do you remember?
I believe 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
This weekend, I haven't scheduled me yet, but Mel and I are this week going to learn Hexplore It, or relearn Hexplore It, I guess, but also learn what's new in the Sands of Shirax, the 3rd volume of Hexplore It, and we'll play some of that on the weekend coming up. So that's coming up next. So watch for that to be scheduled, probably tomorrow. And then we recently, the reason why we delayed the Q&A, it was originally going to be on Saturday. I mentioned that it was coming on the weekend, but the reason why I never scheduled it and said it was a maybe was because we were still trying to get a hold of our buddy who was willing to lend us his Arkham Horror Collection. So we were like waiting to find a time when we could, if he still wanted to. He was a little unsure whether he wanted to let go of it after all. But we talked through it, and we had said Saturday, took a drive for 2 hours there, 2 hours back, got his collection. So we now have, which is the early collection. It's Cycles 1 and 2, which is what he bought up to. And then other friends of his were buying after that. So he was playing with a group of 3 that were all kind of pitching in and bringing their own collections to the table. A relax.
Thank you.
Did you change your pledge? I think you changed his pledge. Could be wrong. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yes, he's been a Patreon before, but I know
or
sometimes
maybe
you
joined
can
into a
or change
tier.
tiers. Yeah. But
yeah.
those alerts aren't very descriptive. But thank you so much for the support. Relax.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So we got a hold of those cards on Saturday, but we also had to learn Outer Rim, so that's why we decided to delay the Q&A. But we figured it was warranted since everyone wants us to continue that series. At least the majority of comments, messages, and emails I've been getting have been kind of hinting that they really want it to happen. And almost every single stream since we played Arkham Horror, the card game, somebody has come in the chat going, when are you going to play it? When are you going to get the Dunwich Legacy? When is that going to start? So I know there's lots of new people to the channel that have come for Arkham Horror, the card game, so we are going to play that. Right now, if you're a Patreon, one of the benefits of the supporter tier and producer tier, you can vote on polls. Right now there's a poll going to choose which investigators Mel and I play with for that campaign of the Dunwich Legacy. So if you're interested in impacting that and you're a Patreon, get on over there, vote. And then once that poll ends, we'll send on the investigators to Kate. And then Kate is, if she's okay with that, going to send us some deck lists. And if they're not on ArkhamDB, I will import them to ArkhamDB. And then we will keep them up to date. I'm going to try to, during the campaign, keep the deck list up to date on there. And then through the comments between episodes, you guys can impact which cards we upgrade to and how we spend our experience based on likes and that kind of thing. So So then we'll keep the list up to date so that each video you can check the updated deck list. I'll put it in the description. Something like that. I'm going to figure it out to do it more smoother rather than taking like an hour at the beginning of every episode to try to figure out the couple cards we're going to put in our deck and take out of our deck. But we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. And then we'll go from there. But yes, we will do that. I don't remember. We won't talk about poll results, but the other poll going on right now is deciding which, I don't know what you call it, pilot, smuggler, whatever you want to call it, the character in Star Wars Outer Rim I'm playing solo tomorrow. That's another poll going on right now. So yes, thank you all who are voting on those polls. Yeah, but then being told like play Han Solo is like the only chance in the regular solo. So I don't know. We'll see. Either way, we'll have some fun. We'll experience it tomorrow.
Yep. Get your votes in there if you want to.
Yes. All right. That's it. Let's open up to questions.
Yes.
We have like an hour and 20 minutes ish of questions and general discussion. So throw your questions in the chat. If you want to discuss something specific, get it going, ask our thoughts, whatever you want, that kind of thing. The usual, just open floor. We can talk about whatever.
Yep. A couple things that will help us find them is if you can do at Rob's Gaming Table.
Which Sakabra just did in the chat.
Yeah,
so
it'll highlight it.
On our screen, I'm seeing a big orange rectangle around at Rob's Gaming Table. So if you just hit the at button and start typing ROB, it will prompt it. You can click it, or I'm assuming on the phone you'll see a list. And on the PC, you get a list and you can click on them. Yeah. And that's a good way to so we see it highlighted in our chat window here.
Yeah. Also question marks. Rob kind of scrolls for questions as well that way. So
I can see them here.
And if we miss your question, you can try to ask it again. If we miss it a second time, there's a reason. Sometimes we do miss your questions if we're talking about something else, but we'll try our best.
Daniel's asking a question that I don't know the answer to. Oh man, another Patreon.
Look at you guys. Successful Geek.
I'm not getting the updates though. I see this notification. Successful Geek. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Go to. Maybe just 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem.
So normally I get email too, but sometimes that isn't instant either.
That just said it might be delayed.
It just prompted me saying access to Patreon might be delayed or something. It just popped up like a maintenance message or something. Interesting.
Okay. Thank you very much. That is very nice. Oh, and Successful Geek says, and Patreon's being very slow for me. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Patreon's like a mess. The website's a mess. But anyways, thank you so much. All right. What expansion is the Neutral Investigator? I'm not sure.
But someone in the chat might be able to.
Is that Dunwich Legacy? Is it that Lola or whatever? Is she neutral? I think she's neutral, right? She's like the sixth investigator that's in the Dunwich, I'm pretty sure. I haven't even read all what they do or how they work or anything like that, but they're in a poll, that's for sure. All right. Let's see here. Barb asked this question. I think it gets asked almost every single month. Are you guys going to play Frosthaven when it comes out? Yes. We backed it. We did a video, like a live stream, where when the Kickstarter was launching, kind of review it and decide what I was going to back. We backed it. I'm excited for it. We'll be jumping right into it when we play it, similar to how we got Gloomhaven, played through a bunch of that on the channel, and Jaws of the Lion. Also, no worries there. We will be probably dropping everything we're doing to jump into it when it shows up, or at least working it into the schedule almost instantly.
Yeah.
And I just hope, even if it shows up and we haven't got Justin showing up or Kyle or anyone to join us, we'll just get started into a campaign like we have in both those other campaigns. Justin will hopefully show up, get to make a character. He could probably show up and use his Demolitionist.
Yeah, because you might want to level that up more.
From I believe it'll work that way, where you can just drop in and drop out and hopefully use any Gloomhaven characters. So he can use one of the two that he has ongoing in our other two campaigns. Maybe just jump in and keep leveling up. We'll try that out if we can. But yes, no worries there. Sakabra says, you must have gotten the last Fantasy Labs. The chair that I was talking about, for those who are curious, want any info on it, I put a link down in the video description. Sacabra's saying the Fantasy Lab is the like sub brand or whatever of the chair from whatever company it is. But you can get them on Amazon, which I said Sacabra. So like we picked this one because I look for that brand, Fantasy Lab, or there's 2 other brands that are under that same company's umbrella. But I look for the big and talls because they have the metal base. They have a high weight. So like it's like holds double my weight. But what that means is the chair's got to be built pretty solid. If it holds like 440 pounds or whatever is the weight restriction on it. And it has a metal base. And a lot of these gaming chairs, even the more expensive ones that have plastic bases, they break on the bases where the wheels go in all the time. That's like the biggest failure point. So I buy these ones because they have metal bases. And it's the same brand of the previous gaming chair I bought for myself. So I bought one, and we got them on Amazon. But that link I sent you, or I put in there, it gives you more details on it than the Amazon Canada listing. And you can check out other brands on there. And some of them, they do ship to Canada when they're in stock. But some of their product, they just put on Amazon only, which is weird. And it's sold directly from that company through Amazon. It's weird. But yeah. They might not be the best chairs ever. I'm not sure. But they are the 2 that I have put together now, including my daughter has a different brand of chair. Mel has a different brand of chair. I put together 4 of these gaming chairs. I've sat in all of them, and a couple of them we've had for months. And let me tell you, if you can afford or it's not too big, go for one that's labeled big and tall, and it's like 400 pounds plus, because it will be a rock solid chair. Unless you're 600 pounds, then don't do that or something like that. But if you're under 400 pounds or whatever it is, then and not too big for the chair, I'm saying, then it would be a good bet. So it might be overkill, but for me, I don't want to have a chair that's going to just break, in a year or something. That's my explanation for that. All right. The nerdy guy says, do you guys ever do online board games with members? Tabletop sim? No tabletop simulator, no interest, do not care, don't have that installed on any computer, don't want to play it. I'm pretty harsh on that, I know. I got into the hobby to play games physically, to touch cards, roll dice, play with cardboard, have friends socially interact. I still, I guess, play online video games. Maybe not a lot, as much as I used to, but I mean, from late teens when, internet started, computers, Xboxes, Nintendo, all that stuff, I've been playing online video games a lot. And then working in IT, computers, staring at screens, I got into board gaming to get away from that stuff. So the idea, and I understand during COVID, it's great that it's there as an outlet, but I'm a snob still. I have a wife that will play games with me. I have a daughter that will most of the time still play games with me. Maybe not that much anymore. And I also, when COVID's not around, or lockdowns aren't as restrictive, I have friends that will come over and play. I'd rather play in person. That is the whole reason I got into this hobby and why I promote this hobby and why now I work full time doing this hobby thing, channel, all that stuff, is to promote this. And I know people are watching on the computer and that kind of stuff. That always happens. But if I'm going to play a digital game, I want an official app for that game. I want a game that handles the rules, quickens the setup, walks through it. I'll play online with people. We played online Game of Thrones board game 2nd edition app.
Yeah.
We played with Hexy Beast. We played Sagrada digital. But I personally like to play physical things on the table. And keep it simple. But yes, I will play games online. I do want to play Gloomhaven when that's actually fully out of early access. Play the Gloomhaven with Patreons, going through a campaign, jumping in, jumping out, that kind of thing. But yeah, I have an abundance, like a mountain of board games I need to play, and I want to play on the channel. There's not enough time for that. So yeah, I'm very, playing digital games is very low on the totem pole. And I get that companies even email and go, hey Rob, I'm from such and such publisher. I love your channel. I know you're not really into the digital games that much. You prefer to play physical, but would you like to check out our digital game? And sometimes they even offer the physical game also, which is pretty cool. So I'll say, yeah, I'll play your digital once I play your physical.
Yeah.
It's part of the deal. But yeah, so that's just the way I roll. I'm trying to disconnect. I know I'm obviously on YouTube and that's my thing now, but there is technology involved, but the whole idea is to use this as a medium to promote the hobby, get people disconnecting from screens and socializing. Obviously, COVID definitely crapped all over that. Because now I'm like, no, don't chill with people all playing 6 players for 6 hours around a table playing a board game. Don't do that because of the virus. So that sucks. But Yeah, trying to promote conventions and getting together and playing board games. Not anymore. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But hopefully it gets back to that again. So yeah. Have you guys played Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Co-op Card Builder?
No.
But if I ever found it cheap and used or something, maybe for fun. But I'm not the hugest Harry Potter guy. I've watched all the movies. My daughter loves Harry Potter, but yeah.
But it's popular, the game. Like, people seem to love it.
I know they do. I know they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just on my IP. Like, I'm not... I know that's part of it is, like, yeah, like the IP too, but it's supposedly still a decent game. Did Rob Kickstarter Final Girl? No, I did not. That Kickstarter all, I think, happened before I even found out about a Hostage Negotiator, which it's like a reskin kind of different version of. So I didn't. But doesn't mean you won't see it on the channel in the future, possibly.
Yeah, you're not opposed to the game.
I'm definitely not. But yeah. But the designers sent us a lot of the content for Hostage Negotiator after we played that on the channel. So maybe AJ will send over some Final Girl. You never know. Maybe that'll happen. We'll see. Oh, a good nice comment from Lisa here. Can't wait for Hex. Oh no, this is a different version. We don't have Huplore It. We only have Hexplore It. I don't know if that's the prequel or the sequel. I'm not sure. Just kidding. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I see you corrected in the next line. I'm just joking.
He's messing with you.
Trolling. Rob's Gaming Table. Have you seen the new campaign game, Adventure Tactics? No, I have not. Brian, I have not. Hold on. Let's right now. Let's do it. Let's try something different. We're gonna go. I'm gonna look it up right now. We can just give a hot take initial impression. Adventure Tactics. Kickstarter? Is it Kickstarter? Co-op Tactics campaign. Oh. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this. There. All right. An Adventure Tactics, a co-op tactics campaign game for 1 to 5 players. I like the tagline of co-op tactics campaign for 1 to 5 players, but to be honest, the art and the look of it screams like
cartoon
kids game.
Yeah.
And that's not the worst. That's not bad.
No, that's okay.
But literally, like, there's so many Kickstarters. I would just open this and see that first picture, literally close it and move on. That's just the way I am. I don't know. Unless somebody told me, like, a bunch of details about it and what the hooks are and the mechanics, then I could look at this. Like, I did the same thing for Madara when I first saw it. I was like, nope. But then Madara came out. People are playing it, describing it to me. I started reading the reviews, watching reviews. I was like, okay. The Japan art, the anime kind of style and theme of it, of Madara is not really for me. It's not something that draws me into a game. But I can look past that if it's like a great game underneath. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I judge a book by its cover sometimes. I do that. But
yeah, on BGG it has a weight of 2.5.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not bad. But is that like, you want to play a campaign game like that? That's the other thing. Now how I work is a red flag for me is when a game says campaign and it tells me it's got 100 hours or 50 hours or something. That core game, that session of gaming and the change from session to session better be damn well interesting enough for me to want to play it again and keep it going. Because gaming time is tight, right? There's so many games you can play. And if your game is okay to play 2 or 3 times for 10 hours total or something, don't tell me you have a 100-hour campaign if your base game is like not that interesting. So again, I would have to read into what this game is and what it's like, but just because it has a campaign and has tons of content and 100 hours of gameplay, it doesn't really matter if your game is just a big meh, like, but see, again, here's the problem. So they're starting off with stretch goals.
They don't even tell you how to play?
Honestly, snobby Rob here, I wouldn't have scrolled down to begin with because the picture, I probably wouldn't even play the video. But when your first thing you're telling me about your game, the hook, like, my time is valuable, you want to tell me about your stretch goals? That's the most important thing about your game, is the extra junk you're adding in. Yeah, no. No. Oh, now we get to see what the game looks like.
Okay, lots of cards. Whoa.
Yeah, but again, it's all about the components. It's showing you, like, this is the problem. People get hooked in by just, if I get enough stuff. So what they do is they look to the right and they see pledge US $75 or more, you get the base game. You look on the left, you go, whoa, 75 US, that much stuff. People don't think about shipping and VAT and all that stuff, but they just see 75, they see a giant picture of stuff and they go, that seems worth it.
Yeah.
For $75, that's a lot of stuff. But it's like, I don't know. That's not enough for me.
Looking at that too, it's a mix between minis and standees.
You probably had one or the other, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, again, look, it's like so it's got this little paragraph here. Counter-based, campaign-driven, cooperative tactical combat game. Beginner journey is. Okay, that's cool. Little pitch. And I know it's marketing. It's all marketing. They got to do what they got to do. But then it's like, okay, class guides, okay. And then components. It's all about the components. That's what sells Kickstarters. It's a sad reality. Like, if you can show better components and good value for the money in physical stuff, that's where you're trying to get the Kickstarter. I don't know. It looks interesting. But again, I'd probably do a wait and see on it just because I don't want to invest in a game like this where I may never get it to the table and don't know if I would be even excited for it. I'd have to spend some time going through it, watching the videos, reading a rule book if it exists. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the different thing is here. I don't know. Like, why would I be playing this year over Descent Legends of the Dark or whatever? Like that, I got that coming, Frosthaven, Midara, Oathsworn. No time for this. This is not, yeah. That's my impressions. Like, honestly, where I'm at, that's where I sit. Like, sorry, I already have other games like this in my collection and other games coming that I don't even have enough time for right now. I can't invest in a game that's supposedly coming July 2020. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, no. Let's get back to it. But yeah, sorry if I just crapped on someone's hype train, but that's honestly where I'm at. That's the way I like Kickstarter. I do not get excited going to that website. I'm just like, ugh. Somebody's got to really sell me on why I need to go to that website to look at a game. I'd rather, honestly, I'm at the point where it's got to be really worth it to invest in it and know I'm getting something solid, and that's worth paying a higher cost, screwing over my local game store, getting them nothing, and paying crazy shipping, usually shipping to Canada, and getting it later, usually, than my local game store will get it anyway. So I'd personally rather just go pre-order it from my local game store. But then again, why am I pre-ordering it? If the game's that great, I can just buy it later after it comes out. People have played it and talked about it. I don't need to be the first. I'd rather just buy a great game, whether I buy it a month after it comes out and other people, if real people have played it and reviewed it and it's not a prototype copy. That's where I'm at. Because it really doesn't matter if I get the game when it came through a Kickstarter with all the extra stretch goal crap and the pre-order crap. That doesn't entice me enough. It's never worth it because you don't play all that stuff. Yeah, I could go on and on. But anyways, if that game that you just showed me ends up being great, I will be able to find it later. Mm-hmm. Maybe even around launch time. But I want to hear that it's really a great game and it's worth that. That's all. But right now, it's in the pre-order. It's an idea. It's a marketing thing. I'm not biting. There's too many great games that are showing up every day right now in my game store that I don't need to pre-order something through Kickstarter. I'll get it later. It's like, and if I don't, there'll be something else I'll just get later. It's fine.
Well, Brian S. says, Rob saved me money.
Yeah, that's, like, honestly, I don't know.
Sorry if you're really excited about that.
I don't know.
And Rob just, like, dampened it.
And I know I'm, like, contradicting myself, too, saying, like, you know, I pre-ordered Descent, 3rd edition, we'll call it, what is it, Legends of the Dark. I pre-ordered that Volume 1 or Act 1 or whatever through my local game store. And for a couple of reasons, I pre-ordered it. I have faith in the people working on that game based on their names being in the credits of a lot of other games I love to play currently. It's FFG. It's usually quality. They've been working on it for years. It's based on Descent loosely. I love their app-driven board games, and I'm okay supporting it through my local game store. And they actually have a better price than some of the other places I've seen. So I thought I'll grab that. But I normally am now at the point where I'm not like investing in a game unless I really know I'm going to love it. And I might be worried tiny bit that I might have trouble getting it later. But even so, I'm at that point where the FOMO, I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If your game's that great, I'll get it later. Because like I'm playing games, like I'm playing Robinson Crusoe right now. I just played that last week. That game's been out forever. The reprint's been out for like 5 years. That game goes out of stock still, and sometimes hard to find. But it's like a an evergreen title. And I just got that now. I just played Mage Knight in 2020. Did that make Mage Knight any worse or my life any worse? No. I still got a hold of it eventually. Yes, I had to wait for reprints. I couldn't get it for like a year. But once I finally got it, I still got it to the table. I still spent tons of hours in it. Still had a blast. I still have it in my collection. I can still play it more. I still want to play it more. I didn't have to buy it in 2011 when it first came out. I didn't have to pre-order it. I didn't have to Kickstarter it, anything like that. Like, I don't know. It's like, I got Gloomhaven on the second Kickstarter even. I didn't need to get it on the first one. I still had a blast with Gloomhaven. Still an amazing time. We're sucked into Gloomhaven. But I didn't buy it right away. Seventh Continent, again, got it on the second Kickstarter, which is not pre-ordering it. I already know the game's out. There's reviews and that kind of thing. So, there you go. That's I'm gonna cut it off there on that rant, but I could keep going on and on about that stuff. But
yeah, we got to get to Rob's rants.
I do appreciate though do not stop sending me Kickstarter games or telling me to look into things.
Yeah.
But yeah, also if you want to send me messages or leave comments on videos, let me know why that I might be interested in that Kickstarter. Like, what about it interests you? And then I'll look into it, that kind of thing. Because, like, I also want to know, like, if you guys really think I'll like a game, let me know why. Like, let me know why. I'm not opposed to it. But it's just, like, I just am not. Yeah. Kickstarter is, like, still, like, a dirty word to me. I don't know. Tara wants to know, Rob's Gaming Table, what is your most anticipated game this year?
Frosthaven for me.
For Mel, it's Frosthaven. My most anticipated game, I don't know. I think Oathsworn, maybe.
That's a high one too, yeah.
Yeah, my love for like Dark Souls, the board game, I love that kind of, game. I've already played a lot of Gloomhaven. So Frosthaven, I feel like it's more goodness. So I'm not as excited. Like I've tasted it already.
Yeah.
It's not going to blow me out of the water with Frosthaven, I'm sure. I'm sure it does some cool little things. It's like an evolution, not a revolution. But I'm interested in Oathsworn. Maybe Oathsworn's the same, but I'm just more anticipating. I'm excited to play that game more. Yeah, so I just want to try that. That's me. And some of the stuff I saw the developer talking about Oathsworn and how they kind of pushed it to work on some of these cool things, it got me more excited. And it sounds like they really, the guy used one of the best words. So Kickstarter is a dirty word to me, but the two words delay and more playtest time used in within the same sentence, that gets me excited. I love that. I love that from the video game world. Delay your game, make a great game. And I loved hearing that the Oathsworn guys saying, no, we want to add new stuff, but then we play test the crap out of it, and that's why it's kind of delaying it, and we're going to bring you a great game. Take your time with the game. Play test the crap out of it, make sure it's great, make sure that rule book's nice to play tested, and your learn to play system, and yeah, I'll be happy, because the game, I'd rather have a game a year or two later be amazing than an okay game or a horrible game now. I don't need your game. I don't need a horrible game. I don't want it at all. Successful Geeks asking, you may have answered this somewhere else, but are you backing Primal? I've been asked this a few times. No.
But I guess part of what you just talked about.
I was interested. I looked at it. It was like, okay, it's a boss battling Monster Hunter, kind of game. I like Monster Hunter. I played a bit of those. I like the boss battles in Dark Souls and stuff. It seems interesting. It's cool. It could be cool. But I watched a playthrough of it on either Rolling Solo or One Stop Co-op Shop. I don't remember which one. They're very similar, those channels, but I'm not sure which one it was. They kind of blend together for me. They may have played the exact same scenario. I don't know. But it was a scenario with a big circle. It was a 4-pie scenario. I watched the guy play through it, and it looked like a snooze fest. It looked like so lame. It was not exciting at all. It did not sell me. I was like, this really? This is like what they're bringing out in 2021 to Kickstarter. Like, maybe there's a bigger, more advanced stuff in it. Maybe it's cooler than it was displayed to me. Like, the video maybe didn't do a great job, like, explaining the game to me. But I figured that's a kind of wait and see game. I may have that in my collection eventually. I may be chasing that game down. But I want to wait to see what they come up with that game and what actually comes out in the other end. because I have a feeling it'll just be another box full of miniatures that just gets forgotten about, to be honest, based on what I saw. But that's initial impressions, but I could be totally wrong. That's the problem with Kickstarter. Just going on video reviews and stuff of prototype stuff. You don't know what the full game is going to be, right? And they might take some of that feedback and might change the game and improve the game. But yeah, not back in Primal right now. But damn, it's like the type of game, like when I heard that, I'm like, oh, it kind of is a must back, I think, because I like that in games, I like that type of games, the card play and the boss battles and stuff. But it just didn't seem exciting. I don't know. It just seemed lame.
Yeah, it's all about the big miniatures, right? That was that game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I have Dark Souls, the board game. I got big miniatures I can't even fit in boxes and stuff. Like, why do I need that half of the game? Like, I also like Dark Souls, the whole dungeon crawling aspect leading up to a boss. I don't think that's in that game though, right? That's just a boss battler game. It's trying to be a more affordable, accessible, PG-13 version of what's the bigger game that everyone buys and always asks us to play? Kingdom Death Monster.
Oh,
Kingdom Death Monster.
Yeah.
It's trying to tap into the Kingdom Death Monster. Either people who play that or people who don't play that may get into that. So I see that, but I've never played Kingdom Death, and I don't really care. So it's just because it's like, hey, here's a version you can get a hold of. It's cheaper and that doesn't excite me at all. So it's like, yeah, I'm not biting, but
it's not something
I may get that game in the future. Like, don't get me wrong, I may get that game in the future, and it might turn out it's awesome and I love it. But right now, I'm just not at this stage of the game. I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens.
I'm good. That's cool. It's cool that it exists, but I'm just like, eh. Blah, 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 blah. We get asked this a lot. Rory, is like, have we played any Vital Lacerda games, I think is how you say it? Like On Mars, Gallerist, Venus? And what's the other one? Escape Plan? Escape Plan, I think, is the other one. That was the first one where I found out about this guy and the crazy, complex, like boxes vomiting rules and systems and thematic, mechanics and all this stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be Escape Plan, but the Gallerist or whatever is one that everyone recommends as like his best one. And On Mars seems to be like hitting people's lists, and people are really in love with it. So like, I don't know. I gotta try one of his games at some point.
Escape Plan is what we saw at Gen Con,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
like,
we looked at it.
The theme of that one interested me so much. The price tag scared me away from it at the time.
Yeah, we definitely looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty expensive game. And Mike's favorite is Escape Plan. But yes, they do entice me. These games entice me. They get me kind of excited, but it's like I don't own any yet. But I will at some point.
Yeah, never say never on that one.
Yeah, I'll get there at some point for sure, Rory. I'll get there at some point. Any plans of picking up the Cloudspire expansions this year? That's a Kickstarter I backed. That's the one where we also backed the Too Many Bones Trove chest on. Yeah, I love Cloudspire. There's so much stuff in that base box I haven't even played. I haven't even played with the Grease yet. I haven't even got what's the other expansion? I never even got the other expansion for it, but I was trying to work my way through the solo campaign and I never even finished it. We haven't played all the co-op scenarios. Mm-hmm. I have never played that game 4-player. I've only played it 3-player, I think.
Yep, we did.
But yeah, I feel like there's so much more to Cloudspire, but I love that game. I love Cloudspire. Cloudspire is amazing. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I backed it, of course. Portal Seekers, that's it. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Portal Seekers, I still need to get that and add that. I don't think I bought that yet, but I definitely haven't played with anything from Portal Seekers. But yeah, I definitely backed that Kickstarter. I want more Cloudspire. You'll see it come back to the channel once those expansions drop. I'll bring it back out on the channel for sure. Yes. I back that. Whenever it shows up, it shows up. I haven't been paying attention to any updates or anything. I have no idea when it's going to show up. Here's one for Mel. What are the minis coming up that you're most excited to paint?
That I'm most excited. That's a good question.
You're still working on Nemesis, right?
Yeah, I'm working on Nemesis. I did the little minis for Explore It so that we can do that.
Yeah.
Kind of I think for Roombound there was Jim had painted the set, but I think there was 2 expansion characters, so I'm just going to quickly paint those up as well. So it's kind of a lot of little things all happening at the same time, but I don't know what the next.
I want you to paint some Dark Souls like bosses for fun, or some of the characters. Because I just love those minis, and the bosses are just so big, and like Dark Souls, yeah, it's just awesome. I'd love you to paint that, but there's other games.
Yeah, I think I have to look through the games that we have that are upcoming to the channel and see if I can get ahead of painting on those. But yes, there is never a short supply on minis to paint, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have other games sitting on our shelves. We don't forget to even have miniatures that Mel can be painting.
Yeah.
That we might play again. And Adam's asking, did you also say you weren't interested in ISS fan card? Yeah, I didn't back it, wasn't interested. If it turns out like it could be great, and that's fine. I'll just get it later, and play through it later. But it's not something I wanted to back through that crowd or game found system, and yeah, I was not really feeling it. I want to see if it, like, what they put together is actually really entertaining. I was getting a lot of people saying that they're watching playthroughs and stuff, just saying it was very like boring, didn't look exciting. And I did watch like probably like 30 minutes of a playthrough. I wasn't interested at all. It seemed very not exciting. It could be very cool, and it's obviously targeted, I think, at the Star Trek fans. Like, you know, some good stories, some exploring, that kind of stuff. But we'll see. Dan says, ISS Vanguard, let's get the game found rant going.
Oh, no.
No, that's it. That's all I'm going to say there.
No, you gotta wait.
Yep.
We did, but maybe we didn't.
Yeah, this window, sometimes it scrolls. Oh, Heather's asking, I think we'd already answered this though. Pre-order Descent. Yes, I pre-ordered it through a local game store. Got it locked in, so hopefully everything goes smooth there, and it just shows up at some point.
Yeah.
Sebastian says, can you please dip your toes into solo tabletop wargaming? No. No. Where would I start, though? Sebastian, where would I start if I was going to do such thing? Already, tabletop wargaming, one of our local game stores, actually a few local game stores, actually a few game stores, period, that we've driven, 5 hours, 7 hours, whatever, to play tournaments at, other provinces, other states, other countries, whatever. I've sat there and watched tabletop wargaming, and one of our local stores had a weekly night that lined up the same night we had like Keyforge tournaments and stuff. And just watching, War Machine and Warhammer 40K. What else did we watch? There's like a couple other games, and man, it's like, I already complain about getting into living card games that they're like, and collectible card games that are like so expensive, so much content, Wargaming scares me away. It's like assembling minis, building terrain, painting. It's like multiple hobbies within the hobby. So it's like, I don't have enough time for the primary high-level hobby of board gaming, card gaming, that kind of thing. It's like wargaming, I envy it. I think it's so cool and so fascinating. I love going to Gen Con or Origins and just going in that area and watching these crazy games, taking up massive tables, and people with all this awesome terrain, these cool structures, and they're playing, and they got their measuring tape out, they're battling each other, got their giant binders and all the units, stats, and all that. I think it's like amazing. But man, that alone, I don't know how people have the time for that. And I wish, I guess they could drop everything I do and just do that, but it's like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe it's their only game.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lifestyle game. Yeah. It's like LCGs, you could just get wrapped up in them, building decks, playing the scenarios, chatting online, podcasts. There's like a whole lifestyle around it. But like wargaming, it's like you got the painting hobby in there, the crafting hobby, the tournament scene, like the meta, all that stuff. And you got the collecting aspect of it, the assembling and all that stuff. Man, wow. Yeah, that's a loaded one. And solo is the funny part. You're
Oh,
telling
yeah,
me,
yeah.
you're telling me, don't just get into wargaming. Like, find someone to play a wargame with, and I can use their collection and learn it and stuff. You're telling me I need to start to play it solo.
I didn't even know you could.
I didn't know either. I didn't know that was a thing. But that is wow, wow. Yeah, I've always been. I love watching that stuff. I think it's so fascinating. But yeah, not right now. Maybe some point in the future, but not right now. And we got close when that Song of Ice and Fire miniatures wargaming game was coming out from Come On. We were looking at it. We talked to the guys at Gen Con. They explained the whole game to us before it came out, showed us that kind of stuff, and we just were like, no, we can't. We can't fit this in.
Yeah.
But that was the closest we got to playing a miniature wargame. I've dabbled in X-Wing. That's like, I guess, the furthest we've really got. But that to get into like a serious wargaming one, Song of Ice and Fire, I feel maybe that's not a super serious one, but that felt like it was.
That's the closest.
That's that's as far as we went. We almost grabbed some of that stuff at Gen Con, and we're gonna dive in, but then we're like, I don't think it's for us. This is Dan's comment. I missed this before. It's so refreshing to see discerning Rob when it comes to buying games, but when he sees treasure chests and shiny things, not so discerning Rob shows up.
No.
Yes. That's the difference, though. The money's left my bank account. The game's on the table at that point. I want to get the goodies in the game world, even if it leads to me failing, because then I'll just have to play it again. And like, if I'm having fun in the game, I'll weigh that reward and that risk and have some fun with it. I like finding goodies in the games. I do like the same thing in the real world, though. I do like going for those treasure chests.
You like to hunt for treasure?
Except for, I want to know, I do like to hunt for great games. Don't get me wrong. So picture the great games are the treasure chests. But I have to wade through the crap and I have to decide, and some of these Kickstarters, they're like looking at a mimic chest. I can see the teeth. Peeking out.
Or you're not sure.
Yeah, or I'm not sure. It may be a mimic chest. I don't want to risk it. I'll wait later till somebody else opens the chest, and if it doesn't bite their head off and kill them,
then you know.
Then I will get into and then I will go find that treasure and try to obtain the loot.
Yep.
And get the goodies.
Yep.
So that's how
that's the
my
best way to explain
justification.
it.
Yeah.
Take that how you will.
And see, you're thinking all games are treasure, Dan, and that's the thing. So like discerning Rob, I'd be the same thing if it's like junk I have to pick up in a dungeon crawler that's useless for me to carry. That's like some of those games that aren't great. So it's like, apples and oranges, my friend. Games and treasure, apples and oranges. Not all games are treasure. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I'm sure all of you have played Mimic Chest before. You're like, oh, I wish I didn't open that one.
Oh man. Jeremy Howard's here. Hey, party people, how's it going? Oh. Yeah, Brian's saying, I think it's funny going into a treasure chest in Sword and Sorcery hurts your character. Yeah, it's always a trap. Like, I think that one's bad. It's always a trap. But I guess sometimes you always draw a trap card, but it's not always a trap, but it's like literally like 90% of the time it feels like it's a trap.
I guess for anyone that doesn't know what a mimic chest is, do you think anyone doesn't know?
I don't know. You could Google it, but a mimic chest is just like a trap chest. Like it's like...
Okay, just making sure.
I just know them from Dark Souls. Like literally they stand up and start running around the board. I'm sure it's from like role-playing games. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing, I would assume.
Okay.
But a mimic chest is like... It looks like a treasure chest. But you go to open it, and it's actually a monster, and the actual treasure chest has, like, teeth and a mouth, and has legs and arms and stuff. Yeah, Dark Souls mimics, they'll actually eat you. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure everyone knows what that is. Or else that wouldn't be as funny.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Rob giving the rogues explanation to Kickstarter. Love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. If I didn't answer your question, feel free to drop it again in the chat. It keeps like scrolling, and I scroll up and it goes back to the bottom. So if you do have any other questions, we have...
Yeah, we have
like another 40 minutes-ish. So yeah, if you have any other questions or have any other games or Kickstarters you want us to look at or anything quick, funny takes on them, whatever, Oh, Adam's got an important question. Hold on. Super important. Here we go. Did you bring the Yeti maid to the beach house? No. She can't be taken out of her environment. So she stays at our, $1 million cabin in the north.
Yep.
So yeah, we didn't bring her here.
There's a service here. We don't have to worry.
But we're only here for one day during this Q&A at our super expensive private island resort. We'll be taking the private jet, our gaming chairs, and our studio equipment back home for tomorrow's live stream of Star Wars Outer Rim. So it's been
we don't make much of a mess.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 24 hours. So yeah, we're just trying to escape the snow while we did the Q&A. That's all. Whoops. I have just unplugged myself, but yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry guys.
LOL. I just realized you actually went to a beach house. Scott, this is our normal background that you're used to us seeing.
Yeah, you haven't seen us at this private island. This is just one of our places we go. So. Ever met a mimic gazebo?
No, but we haven't looked very hard.
Is this gazebo a mimic? I don't know. Nerdy Guy says, and this might be a question that the chat might have an answer for too. Any custom-made storage for tokens / minis or custom board game shelves / cabinet vendors you would recommend? Personally, most of the stuff I use, we use mainly the IKEA Kallax shelves for shelving standard. We have some other kind of bookshelves that have stuff on it, but it's all Kallax's going forward unless something else.
And the shelves that we do have are just old that
we're replacing them with Kallax shelves. I just like the way it looks. I like fitting the board games on them and stuff.
They're perfect.
Yeah, they're nice and solid. They're simple, easy to put together, that kind of thing in my opinion. But storage for tokens and minis, I don't have a good storage solution for minis.
Yeah, every game is so different, right?
But I've never tried to store and protect the minis unless they come in something that already protects them. Maybe the closest thing is like a plano box. Like sometimes I'll separate miniatures in plano boxes and stuff. Like our X-Wing stuff, I have in these like plano containers. Mm-hmm. But I usually, previously, before E-Raptor reached out and started sending us like board game inserts every now and then, I usually just came up with my own insert. I would just go on to Board Game Geek, go in the forum section where all the amazing people are in there, are creating storage solutions, talking about which models of plano boxes they buy, accordion folders they use, all this kind of stuff. I try to find the Canadian equivalent of such things, and just try like a little craft project and make things, make my own dividers, make my own things like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's nice to have a professional made insert for a game though, I must say, as long as it helps with setup and teardown time. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, like I only care about inserts for the games that I know I've been playing and I'll continue to play, that I think have a future. Because a lot of games, like we play a lot of campaign and legacy games and stuff. When you play through that campaign, like let's say Clank Legacy, I know you can keep playing it after, maybe not the best example, but like certain games, I'm just like, I have no interest in how it's stored. I'll take the time to set it up. If it's just a bunch of baggies, that's fine. Because in all reality, some of those games you may never get back to, or you only play once a year, once every few years, or maybe never play again. You don't know. You just have it in your collection. You played it once or twice. So like games that I wish I had an insert for would be like Scythe, because that's a game like I've played over and over the years. One of my favorite games. I love pulling it out. I love teaching new players. I love using expansion stuff. Scythe's just like such a replayable game in my opinion. It's one of the classics. I'll probably play it lots of times, but I do not have the big box. I don't have an insert yet. That is the one on my list that I want to get an insert for, just to organize all that extra stuff from the campaign expansion and everything. But yeah, straight up just IKEA Kallax and plano boxes is a majority of things I use.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Scobber says, Rob, if you played Kingdom Rush, I got the new Rift in time for my friendly local game store. My girls and Mrs. and I really like it. Great to have a real tower defense board game.
We were looking at this.
Yeah, when we did the tower defense, so on one of our previous, I think, Q&As, we threw it out. We got a list together of what the table, we actually went to Board Game Geek and found all the tower defense games. You guys were recommending Kingdom Rush. There were a few others that were recommended, but we actually put the list together and we did our research. We went and watched like video reviews, read about each one, player counts, people's comments and ratings on BGG and stuff. The one that we decided to jump into next, and I didn't realize at the time, we already had some tower defense.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
We have Castle Panic, we have Cloud Spire. What else do we got? There's another one too that we had, and we didn't even realize. But we looked in after, we're like, oh, we already played some tower defense games. We have this one, that one, this one. We're looking down the list. We're like, oh, okay, we already know what those are like. But yeah, we ended up buying Last Bastion is the one we decided to pull the trigger on. King's Armory. No,
we did look at that though.
We did look at that one too.
Yeah.
That one was recommended to us. But yeah, we just ended up going with Last Bastion as the one we want to get and play. It just seemed like it fit more for us. Kingdom Rush looked cool.
Yeah,
it does look good. But when we just compared it, it actually was down to Kingdom Rush, and it was down to Last Bastion for Mel and I.
Yeah.
And we sat there and we like literally weighed it out. We were making notes and everything. We're like, nope, let's just go with this one. Doesn't mean we won't play Kingdom Rush in the future.
Yeah.
That's
just the one we picked first.
That was just the one we picked first.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what we chose based on our research and stuff. But Last Bastion is just based off of Ghost Stories, which is a tested and true game that a lot of people have on their top list. It's very high on Board Game Geek. We knew it was a solid game. And when we saw it at Gen Con, we actually were... we didn't play in the demo, but we watched a demo of it. I did actually, because I was curious. I always wanted Ghost Stories, but it was hard for me to find that game. And then I didn't realize why. As Asmodee had it at their booth, they were demoing this game called Last Bastion. I went, oh, it's a fantasy-themed tower defense game. I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, this looks really cool. And then the guy ends up saying, I don't know if he might have been the designer. He was like, he said, yeah, this is just a reskin basically of Ghost Stories with a fantasy theme on it and some small changes. And I went, oh, okay, I probably need to get this game then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't out yet at that time. But yeah, so I already knew I probably was going to get Last Bastion at some point. But yeah, anyways. Okay. Let's see. Daniel asks, how's the mermaid maid doing? How do you know her? Are you the one that she sits on the phone with all the time when I'm complaining for her to get to work? Man, slackers. Can't find good help anywhere. Lifestyles of the rich and gaming.
I don't know what that was a comment in relation to, but that's awesome.
They were talking about our beach house and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Heather's asking, any plans to get back to Runebound? Yes. I'm just waiting on someone, I'm not going to mention any names, to paint a couple miniatures from the solo co-op expansion. I want to try one of those characters. So that person I'm not going to name just needs to paint one of them, and then I will play it on the channel next. But that's where I stand.
They are on my painting table.
I want to play some of the content from that solo expansion, and that's where I'm at with that one.
Yeah, no pressure,
so yes,
right?
Runebound is still sitting upstairs on my table, open and everything, not fully put away, waiting to come back down to the gaming table to be on another stream.
All right, I'll get on that.
It's just a bottleneck, that's
I'll get
all.
on that.
Tyrion, thoughts on the upcoming Hoplomachus Kickstarter? I want in, okay? Hoplomachus. When I first learned about chip theory, 2019 Gen Con, I saw this game, Hoplomachus. It was the one nobody was really buying. They had a whole bunch of stuff sitting in the corner. No one really seemed to care about it as we were standing in the booth and they were explaining their product line to us. It seemed like the one no one cared. And I understand why. I did my research after. I found it was one of the first Kickstarters they did. It's the start of the whole company. That was the money they got to then create Too Many Bones Kickstarter and start the whole thing. And a lot of people have recommended it in my Cloudspire playthrough series and my Too Many Bones playthrough series. It gets brought up all the time. Hey, why don't you play Hoplomachus? Another great game from Chip Theory. It looked like garbage. The gameplay looked great, but the production looked like garbage, and I knew they would either A, dump it and not make any more of it, or they would reboot it in a new pretty edition based on the cool stuff they did with Too Many Bones and the cool stuff they did with Cloudspire. Those games just look like, especially Cloudspire, just look so great. Hoplomachus just looked like it was made by a couple guys and one artist, which it was basically.
Yeah.
It was what they started with. So for that, it looks amazing. But in 2020, 2019, when I found out about it, I was just like, no, I'll wait. If the game is that great, Hoplomachus, I'll get it later when they refine it, reboot it, whatever. And man, I was like literally on point. Only after I said that, like a couple months later, they announced, guys, we're going to be out of product. We're stopped producing it. And you're not going to be able to get it anymore. And I went, well, good thing I didn't just buy into the whole thing. And then people start seeing it played, and then they start buying into it. I'm glad I didn't do that. And so good things come to those who wait. I very much believe in that. And they are rebooting it. They're going to make a refined product, is my understanding. of a streamlined kind of box of all the good stuff from the last game, update the graphic design, you know, make it look better, make the quality of the game better. And then on the side, they're also in the same Kickstarter doing a solo-only product for Hoplomachus called Victorium, I believe. So there's two things there. So there's this awesome, refined, best of product that I cannot wait to get my hands on for multiplayer, I guess. And then there is a solo-only product, which hell yeah, I want that. From Chip Theory, Poker Chips, all about that. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this Kickstarter because it's my chance and the chance I've been waiting for, and I was glad to wait for. When they announced it, I was like, yes, guys, you are realizing you're not holding on to this old, kind of ugly looking game. Like, you have better talent now. Use it and take that great game and polish it up, refine it, and now that people know who you are through Too Many Bones, blow their mind with this game. And I hope it does well. I hope it does well. So yes, I'm very excited. That's my thoughts there.
That was the easy answer.
Yeah, that was a short answer. Super easy. Yeah. Osanon says, have you played Friday? The solo deck building game based in Robinson Crusoe world. Yes.
Oh, it's based on that.
Yeah.
I'm now just realizing
it is Friday
that
from that.
When we saw this at Gen Con. Oh my gosh.
I bought that game because I just wanted to try it. It was a game when I first got in the hobby. I remember one of the very first game stores I went into, which no longer exists. One of the guys recommended it. Hey, you might want to check out this game. It's solo only. And it was super cheap. And I was like, but solo only? No, I want to play games with people. So I passed on it. But it's always been mentioned. I did buy it last year. I put it on the table. I learned how to play the game. I played it twice. Put it away, not thinking I'd ever want to play it on the channel or anything like that. It just wasn't that interesting.
Did you play it on stream? No?
No, I haven't played it on stream. Okay. I really care. It's a fine little game. It's cool. But if you guys see my top solo list, like, I need something that, like, yeah, I need just something bigger, more meatier. But man, if you have like a small table space, you just want a quick and dirty solo game that's challenging as all get out, it's a great little game. Definitely a great little game. But yeah, it's cool. I do have it. I've played it, but just it's great. It's fine what it does, but it's just not exciting to me really. Brian S says, Return to Dark Tower is supposed to come out this year. Did you ever play the original? No, I didn't. I didn't know about it until I heard that Isaac and Rob Davio, I think it was, right, that were tied to that project. And it was like some Restoration Games or whatever reboot of some old 80s game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a big electronic tower thing. They've had delays supposedly recently trying to get this thing going production-wise. But I want to see when it finally comes out what the final product is. But I did not play the original. And when I saw that it's kind of like very like basic mechanics, it didn't look very exciting to me. But hell, it's there to make money off the nostalgia train. So by all means, go nuts. But you're not going to get me with that because I never played the original. So it's like, if it's great, I'll grab it, but I'm not that worried about that one. Speaking of Friday, Clint asks, can you do a top 10 cheap solo games? I don't know if I play that many cheap solo games, because that's the other problem I got on my solo list I did last year was like, man, every game I put on there was like big, expensive, takes up an entire table, takes up an entire day to learn, set up, and play. They're all pretty, like, if I'm going to set up a game to play by myself, I want it to be, like, feel rewarding and enriched, and, like, it's like a ritual for me. Like, I got to sit down, morning coffee, crack a rule book, start learning, watch a how to play video if it exists, read on some PGG forums, make sure I got the rules right again, refresh myself, set it up on the table, look at this big giant beauty, get deep into it, play it for 4+ hours, have a great time, and then put it away. And it felt like, man, that was an adventure. And I think that just links to my video gaming past. Like, I love Zeldas, I love Dark Souls. Like, those games eat up hours and hours of time playing in those systems. They're big. You know, you gotta, like, spend hours to, like, even learn the game and understand it and be good at it. That's just the way I am. Like, yes, I do play Call of Duty for the quick fix, but my big memorable games are Final Fantasy games, Zelda games, Dark Souls games, you know, Bloodborne, that kind of stuff. And all those games are like hours and hours and hours, but they're deep and rich mechanically. They're deep and rich story-wise usually. But yeah, Brian, thank you. Take care.
Brian.
But
No problem. Enjoy your dinner.
Cheap solo games though. I don't know how many
Interesting.
cheap solo games I have on my list. That's the problem. I don't even know if I could put 10 together, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I could do it for you, Clint. I can maybe do like my top 3 cheap, maybe. But I'd really have to think about it. Maybe I've played more cheap solo games than I know of. But I only got into solo gaming like a year and a half ago, right? So I've only played so many games.
It might be easier to do cheap.
Hostage Negotiator, if just off the top of my head, probably be number 1. I see Daniel mentioning it.
But then again, how do you define cheap? Because everyone's version of cheap is different.
Well, a normal board game to me is like 50-ish, 40 to 50-ish US dollar range, like 60-ish Canadian. That's a normal mid-weight, medium kind of standard board game. Then Kickstarter miniature filled games kind of push it up to the $100, $120. Gloomhaven pushed them up there. So like
you would say like
regular board game price cost is like that $50, $60 range. You know, hardcore, big, extravagant board game, we're talking 100 plus. Cheap, I would probably put anything that's
below 30.
30 and below, kind of, is very cheap and reasonable. Because like you see games like that pinball game that we're looking at, that solo pinball game, it's like 25 Canadian, so like probably 20-ish US. I would still consider that a cheap game at this point. But obviously inflation and that kind of stuff, and people expect more production quality out of their games now, so like obviously that's going to increase costs even on the cheaper games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's like ultra cheap games like, you know, Love Letter and those kind of games, but then there's like, you know, there's like the 20-ish dollar range I would consider cheap still. But yeah, less than 20 to 30, yeah. 40 on the high end, but then we're pushing into like standard game kind of cost.
Yeah. You might be able to make a list, maybe not of solo, but of just cheap games.
Yeah. Mr. J Bracken 77 says, I just ordered too many bones for me and my girlfriend to play. Any tips for first time players? I just bought the base game so far and plan to play Pick It, and she's interested in Tantrum. If you guys are okay learning together, but for first time players, one of you needs to like learn the game, read the rules, watch the videos, play it solo even, and learn it. And then teach the other player. It might be a little rough. 2 of you sitting down trying to figure it out together might.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 people trying to learn from like one rule book together with the game in front of you turns to be a long, tiring, frustrating experience. So what I would say, Mr. J, one of the 2 of you run that game, like know that game fairly. Like you can play it solo, unless you both love learning, like literally sitting down watching videos together. And like Mel and I have done in the past, like we'll literally Chromecast or whatever a PDF of a rule book on the screen, and we'll literally read through it together on our TV in front of us, going through it one by one, discussing each mechanic and rules section to make sure we have it down. If the both of us are like learning a game literally from nothing to stream, right?
Yeah.
But usually, most of the time, obviously, I'll learn it. And I'll, you know, watch videos, I'll play it solo, I'll read through rules, you know, I'll do a little demo, a few turns, make sure I understand it. But yeah, I would definitely, one person knows the game, because that is a beastly game. It's very complex. It can get super frustrating if the other person can't figure it out and they're asking you questions, you're saying, I don't know. Let's go to the rules again. Let's go to the rules again. Like, that's not a fun way to play a game that's going to take, you know, 2 or 3 hours if you know what you're doing. You don't want to struggle through it like that. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, that game doesn't have a quick walkthrough scenario, which it's itching for.
We were talking about that the other day in the stream. The learn to play. Too Many Bones is one of the top games that needs a learn to play guide.
Yeah.
To get the game to the table quick, you know, slim down the rules a little bit, just get it to the table fast, walk you through a sample game. It does have a sample game in the book, like an example you kind of read through, and you can put the game on the table and follow what they're doing. It kind of has that in the book. But it doesn't, that's not the best way to do it, I think. But it's there if you want to try that. But you still need to read the rules and figure it out. But that's, a lot of people are saying that's one that needs like a learn to play / rules reference system. But
good luck and enjoy. It's a fun game.
Yeah. But yeah, it might be a little frustrating at first. There's a lot going on there, a lot of choices. That's why you'll have giant reference sheets and stuff to like, but don't worry about memorizing everything. You'll figure it out.
No.
Rolling. I don't know what to do. All right, hold on. Let's see. Daniel's saying, Rob, so I started to play Pathfinder adventure card game multi-handed. Based on my experience, it could make for a good group game. EGG rate the best number of players at 3 to 4. I do not recommend solo. Good to know.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, at one point I want to get that game. Just try the core set or something. Or try that standalone use set I have and just see how the game plays.
Mm-hmm.
I might like it a lot. I don't know. But it's just like...
Yeah, we should just try.
I don't know. Bob says, if you want a cheap solo game, stay single. Good idea.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, never mind. Not a good idea, Bob. Not a good idea. Adam says, yeah, this is perfect. I like my games like I like my beach houses. Big and expensive, Rob. Yeah, and my log cabins and stuff, yeah.
Oh my god.
Totally 100% real, all, by the way. For sure.
Yep, 100%.
Oh, man.
Can't you hear the water in the background?
Yeah, yeah. Pathfinder Adventure card game does have plenty of loots.
Uh-oh, don't tell him that.
No.
Oh, no,
It's all about the loots. And oh boy, Rob's on the couch tonight.
Oh yeah, because they were making jokes about how you were throwing me under the bus before.
Yeah, yeah. So Heather's saying, do you track your plays at all? No, I don't.
That is so funny because we were talking about this at the beginning of the year.
When I learned that Board Game Geek, you could do that very easily, and there's apps on your phone you could do it with. I learned that years ago, but I'd already started playing so many games, I was like, I wouldn't be able to go back, and I would love to track it all, but because I was starting in the middle, I didn't want to start. It's kind of weird, but now most of the time I'm playing on stream, so I literally could just go look at my playlists and see. Obviously, I play these games usually before playing on stream. Like 99.9% of the time I play them. And then we play games not at our house either, out and about and on our other table upstairs and stuff that aren't on stream. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even keep my Board Game Geek collection up to date, and I need to do better at that. But I'm just bad. I'm bad at the maintenance of it all, but I do not track them.
I think you need a better assistant then.
Well, no, I don't know. Like, it would be neat to track to see, like, you know, I could turn it around into making a video of, like, here's how many hours it ran, you know, I put in, or how many plays I put in this game. It would also help me understand, too, like, when I do top lists of, like, what actually did I really play a lot? And maybe make me look at some of those games like, I obviously do really like this game, probably more than this other game I'm not sure about, because I've put way more plays into that game. You know, that might help with that, but man, yeah, I wish. I just don't, Heather, but I wish I did. I wish I did. Bob's saying they did fix a bit of stuff. Yeah, if I get into Pathfinder Adventure card game, I would start with that core 2019 core set 2nd edition thing or whatever. That's where I would start. So I probably will get that in my collection at some point. You'll see it on the channel in the future, I think. But the last 2 holiday seasons, I think, or at least the one before that, holiday of 2019, I was going to get it, you know, in like a holiday order and get a discount on everything. But it ran out of stock like right before the holidays. So then I was like, oh, well, I guess I got to wait for a reprint or something. So it was too bad, but. Grant says, solo gaming is the future. I got nobody in my ear asking me why I've spent over 200 pounds on games this month.
That's awesome. Aren't you lucky?
Yes, Graham, yes.
I don't ask him. It's all good.
Oh, we discuss.
We discuss everything. And sometimes I'm the one that's saying yes, buy the game.
Yes, that's true. I run it by Mel.
Yeah.
Mel keeps an eye on the finances, and we sit down and we take the budget, and yes, your Patreon support goes into that.
Yep.
And we go, all right, I really want to get this, and this, and Mel will be like, well, hold on. You might have to wait till next month on that game, and we'll see. And she knows, she's very good at this. We teach our daughter this, is like the whole idea of going into a store, don't just grab everything, throw it in the cart. Make a note of it. Make a list. Take your phone out, put in an app, all the things you want that you just saw. And if you still want them later, get them later. But some things you'll just look back and go, oh, why did I even want that? I don't want that anymore. Who cares?
Yeah. Or you might want at the time.
Yeah.
But then...
So Mel was
Impulse
asking me,
buying.
like, are you sure you want that game? Are you going to be excited to play that? You know, do you think anyone else will play that with us? Like, and then I'm like, wait, maybe you're right. You know, like, can we discuss? And like, Mel, would you find this game fun? And I'll go based on her reaction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely bounce stuff off each other.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Oh, good point, Heather. She says, my play history helped me trim my collection down.
Oh, yeah, because then you see what you don't really need.
I
Or what you have
remember,
too much of.
so something I remember when I was early in the hobby, Rodney Smith, fellow Canadian YouTuber over at Watch It Played, he did a video series, or he talked about in a video one time, about how his wife told him his game collection got to like 100 board games at the time. I'm sure it's way bigger now. I'm sure now it doesn't matter because he's making good money off all this stuff.
Yeah.
But at the time when he became full-time on this, and his wife asked him, like, your collection's getting so big. Basically, if he didn't play a specific game out of this 100 games he had or whatever it was, if by the end of the year he hadn't played a specific game, he had to get rid of it. So he had to literally go in the year, play through his whole collection, and if he couldn't play it, it was out. He had to sell it and get rid of it.
Wow.
So he literally was like, all the time, like, he's explaining it, he would like get his son and his daughter would like, he would just be like, all right, another game tonight, you know? And he was trying to get through all the games, like, next game, to try to see if it stayed in the collection. Nah, I don't want that stress and pressure.
No.
I don't want that at all. But if you were like, man, I need to sell games right now, which ones have I played lately? I'm pretty good. I think I could decide which ones, if I was like limited to a certain number or a certain like shelf space.
Yeah.
I could easily tell you which ones are like, I may know another game's coming down the line to replace it, or like I may never play this again, or this was a game I played with a friend who moved away or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's I don't know. But yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good use for that.
Definitely. But you could probably, like you were saying, you could probably look at your own collection and say, I don't really play that one.
Barb's asking, have you checked out Frosthaven and what characters you want to play, or do you like to go in blind?
I'll go in blind. What about you?
Frosthaven, we just got it. Like, I understand there's more town building, like city building stuff in it.
Frosthaven we don't have yet.
Frosthaven, did I say? I don't know, but they're asking, have you checked out Frosthaven and what character? Like, you can look right now at the base classes. They showed that in the Kickstarter.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
I'm going to put it as a poll for our Patreons to decide.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then you guys are going to pick for me.
Our Patreons are going to pick which character I play. That's how I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah. Barb, one of the biggest things that we do on this channel, and maybe it's different from other people, is we go into a lot of games blind. We don't know what's coming at us, which I think is funny for people watching as well, to see our real reactions when situations come up.
Yeah. And it kind of was like iffy with Arkham Horror if we played through it, but I really want to play through that so much that we played through that opening campaign before we streamed it.
Yeah.
So we already knew some things that were going to happen, but I already forgot some things.
Yeah.
And we saw new things and different things happen. So,
but the rest we're going in blind.
Yeah, but the rest we're going to play Dunwich Legacy like first time on stream. We want to get our characters chosen by our Patreons voting, and then we're going to get the decks built. But I think I'm going to play with those decks because Bob was recommending, I think it was Bob saying, you should go into the next campaign with characters you've already played with. But what we'll do is we are going to get some experience with it. Mel and I will just get those characters and then use the decks to play through the first campaign again.
Yeah. Just
to see our cards, to understand how the characters work and stuff. And then we'll play the Dunwich blind on the channel and have some fun. Another 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
10 minutes if you have any last minute questions.
Adam, I already have King's Dilemma on a wish list. It's up for pre-order here in Canada. I think it came out already and then it went out of stock and they're doing like a new print run of it. But it's up for pre-order. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but it's a game I will pick up at some point. It looks really interesting. Like when I first saw that game, when it was first coming out, just the idea of it was super interesting. You know, Kanji's here. Hello. Dan says, I look at games I have yet to play with anticipation, not stress. I own my collection. It doesn't own me.
That is the best way to say it.
That's great.
Yeah. I will get to you eventually.
There are some games I do get stressed a little bit about when they sit there for a while. Like this War of the Ring was one of the ones that was like, I got it my first Gen Con, was so excited, and just never got it to the table for literally like 7 years or something. It sat there, and it stressed me out sometimes when I saw it. But I was still very anticipating it. I was very excited. I wanted to play it. It's just like, it just kept getting pushed. Max Nick says, recently watched your Mage Knight videos and wonder if you will feature it again on your channel. Yes. Later this year for sure. I will be playing with some of the expansion content. I started reading into it, but then other games showed up from publishers that I then put it on hold to play those games and just got wrapped up in other games and just haven't gone back. But yes, I will take the time at some point this year. I will sit down, relearn it, make sure I have combat down again, then learn the expansion stuff and get it to the channel again. For sure. Absolutely. Yep, I think about that one all the time. Oh, Kate's saying, if you want, I can make the Arkham Horror decks based on Patreon voting, but also make new versions the investigators used before. Huh. Interesting. No, I'm okay.
I don't think you need to spend that much time.
Okay, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm thinking like, whatever they pick, the top two, out of those two, I'll ask Mel, which one do you want to play?
I already know who I want to play.
I'll ask Mel which one she wants to play, and then I'll take the other one.
Yeah.
And then out of those two characters, Kate, I'll send you, these are the two characters. If you want to make alternate decks, if there's like a couple drastically different ways to make them, but I don't know if there is, based on we're only building from 2 core sets, technically 3 core sets. We have a third one now that we got from that collection we got, but we have 3 core sets to build from, and just the Dunwich cycle. We do have more than that, and more on the way. But we are going to just build from that cycle and the core sets alone. The kind of experience and kind of how other people experience it as the game released. That's how we want to do it. So I don't know if there is many varied builds, but if there are decks, then we could even do, like, I'm okay not playing Roland again if I never play Roland again. Like it was just Bob saying we should stick with the same characters, but I don't know, I've played enough living card games. I love Lord of the Rings, dabbling in all different heroes and all different combinations. And Marvel Champions, I love playing all the different heroes in that, and all the different ones. So like, I played Roland. Honestly, like, do I want to play Roland 8 more times in a scenario or whatever it is? Maybe, now that there's new cards. Maybe that we have the novella version, like those 2 other cards in there. Maybe I want to do that, but we'll see. But we don't need to play the same. I just want to play what you guys want to see.
Yeah.
And I'll learn it, I'll figure it out, and we'll have a good time with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can do voting also on the decks too. If you come up with like, here's 2 different builds with this character, 2 different builds with that character, and then, we can put the deck lists up and vote on those if we want to have Patreon voting on that too.
Yeah, but we don't want to make more work for you. I mean, you're already amazing for building us decks.
Yeah, you can even send us decks that you think are like really cool, that you just want to see us play with, that you think are neat and different, that you would like to see played. They don't have to be like the best of the best either. I know you probably will do that, and that would be great too. But yeah, whatever you want. I'm not going to be picky.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
So Dan's saying, yeah, we did get the Carcosa cycle. We do have the full Carcosa cycle also. That was part of that collection.
Yep.
And there was 1 pack from Forgotten Age, which was weird. Just 1 random pack in there. No deluxe box or anything.
And it wasn't the first pack.
Yeah. We ordered all the packs for Forgotten Age, but the deluxe box is still out of stock everywhere. So we can't get into that one until the deluxe box comes out. But we will track down other stuff in the future. Probably just wait each month. I don't want to spend the majority of our board game budget on living card game packs that may not get played for months.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get them later. I know it, like, there's certain things like the starter decks, those investigator starter decks. I don't care when those come back in stock.
Yep.
I'm grabbing them no matter what's happening, because we can work those in, pretty quickly. It'd be kind of cool. And I'll probably add those right to the pool. So even if we're in the middle of a campaign and upgrading, maybe some of those stuff from those investigator starter decks we can pull into the decks as we play the series, if those get restocked anytime soon. Yeah, we're also grabbed some standalone stuff. I ordered that Excelsior Hotel standalone one. And we also have the Carnival standalone. And Rogaroo was supposed to be in that collection, but it may be with another player that may send it to us, or we may just grab it later. But yeah. Yeah. We'll expand the collection. Don't worry. More Arkham Horror is going to be added, and we will play through it. And then we'll, once we play through all the campaigns, then who knows what goes on from there. We'll play some standalone stuff. We'll mix some of that stuff in the campaigns, maybe, and then we'll do some crazy stuff. We'll start using those taboo lists at some point too. And I don't know, Kate, if you recommend doing that right away, or wait till we're at the point playing through Arkham Horror till we get the point where the taboos start to get dropped. Because I don't really think we're still new to the game. Do we really need to slap a restricted list on ourselves already?
Yeah.
Or wait till we've had fun breaking the cards like everyone else did.
Yeah.
And once we have our time destroying things with broken cards, then slap the taboo on us eventually. But yeah, don't ruin our fun already with the taboos. That's what I think. But whoops. Ontis is saying, have you looked at Vampire Masquerade Heritage? Vampire the Masquerade Heritage? No. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think so. Vampire the Masquerade sounds familiar. Is that not a role-playing game, though? I feel like that's a role-playing game. This is an interesting one, Bob. Bob says, I have several big games that I have had for a few years and never played. They are my retirement games. I'll play them when I give up working. 11 months, 24 days and counting. Amazing.
Yes.
There are games I think that are in our collection. I honestly think the same way. There are certain games in our collection that even if they never make a new version or whatever, I want to keep. Because yes, one day during retirement, somewhere with Mel, we'll be retired and we'll have the time, and then we'll be going through some of these games we either never got to, or some of these games we played once, or we just didn't have the time to get back to, and we'll have the time hopefully.
Yep.
And then we'll play those. So, Bob, I'm all about that. That I think is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
11 months, 24 days and counting. That will be here before you know it. That's amazing.
Some people save books for that time to read through novels and stories. They save those for retirement and plow through them then. I look at board gaming the same way, same kind of way.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing. I think that's amazing. Daniel, I don't know recommendations for gaming tables. I've only used one. I mean, I've dabbled with different ones at board game conventions, but I haven't played. I'm not a board game table reviewer. I don't know what to tell you. It also depends on where you live and where your manufacturer is.
And your budget.
They
range so
There's a lot of options out there, and depending where you live, you can get some good deals on shipping and stuff like that, and some custom tables if you want, or some free can tables if you want. That's a loaded one.
Yeah.
I can't really recommend. I wouldn't want to recommend based on my experience because I haven't experienced enough to, I might not know of something that's better for you or not. Oh, okay, saying, yeah, I can see about making multiple versions. I can always post the links in Discord so people can see them.
Oh, that's cool.
True. Yes, very true.
If you have time, but don't do more than you need to do, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
that is cool.
Because remember, the decks will tweak and live and breathe and change throughout the playthrough, hopefully that we get enough experience to do so. So even if you make a version that doesn't include a card that a bunch of people might want in the deck, maybe during one of the upgrades, they're like, no, now you put that in, you didn't have that in there. Maybe we put it in then and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't rack your brain about it too much, but I am looking forward to seeing. Oh, okay, it says, I wouldn't recommend using Taboo yet. I like the challenge and always use it. Yeah, if we've been playing since 2016, like when we played other LCGs and stuff, when they slapped on restricted lists, we followed those to a T.
Yep.
Even when they were rumored, we would start changing up decks and practicing with decks before tournaments, assuming certain things would be restricted and stuff. So yeah, we're totally understand that whole idea of balance and that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like, it's just nerfing a bunch of cards is at least what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Heritage is the game based on I knew Vampire Masquerade is a role-playing game. I thought so. Okay. So Heritage is like a board game based on that universe, I guess.
Okay, I noted it. We'll check it out.
Perfect. Oh, it's a legacy game.
Oh. Interesting.
Warp's Edge. Feel like I have, but I don't remember. Warp's Edge. I'm assuming it's a Kickstarter. Warp's Edge, a solo adventure by Scott Alms. Renegade Game Studios. Solo only game. I've heard of this, but I don't think I've seen. Maybe I haven't seen.
Like comic booky.
What's inside? Here we go. Here's the stuff that's in our game. Wait, where's all the miniatures and the 400 cards? I'm out. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'd give it a try. I'm interested in trying solo only stuff. That's cool. It's the updated Warp's Edge solo game in 2020. Going on right now, or it's already pre-order. I see. Yeah, I'll look into it.
It's already for sale on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a Renegade Game Studios. It'll come to retail. Yeah, put it in there. I'll look at it and.
I did already. Yeah.
Is that gonna jump on my cheap solo games list? Stay tuned to find out. Ah, it's a bag builder. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like that just came out recently. I feel like that's where I saw it. Was like my local game store just getting it?
Yeah, it is on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Cool.
AGOT draft cubes. That's
oh
cool.
my god, that was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Draft cubes for fun. Oh, yeah. AGOT draft was very fun.
Yeah, Game of Thrones draft is great.
Yeah.
Warp's Edge is great, and it's only 30.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, Rob's cheap solo games list has his first entry. Yes, Dan. Great minds think alike.
We
awesome.
probably do have some. I can think of a few, but yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you again to our patrons, new and existing, for supporting the channel and helping us get more gaming chairs on the channel for eventually when we have our friends join us again when COVID restrictions release and we can start playing some of these games I played solo and 2-player, and we can play some of the multiplayer games, the games that say best with 3 and 4. We can play some of those on the channel. We can get back into Lord of the Rings Journey in the Middle Earth with Kyle. I can't wait to do that. Play some more Gloomhaven or Frosthaven with Justin eventually. Man, so many good things coming. But yeah, tune in tomorrow. Star Wars Outer Rim solo. This weekend, Hexplore It, Sands of Shirax. And eventually, I don't know when, soon, more Arkham Horror the card game, Dunwich Legacy, and some other games will be mixed in there too. We just got to figure them out, learn them, play them, get them on the channel. But yeah, lots more live playthroughs coming up on the channel. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.